here you are in the big seat in the studio this morning. Some massive news as well, Neil. You've decided to call time. So tell us why.
I just felt it was right. I've been enjoying a lot of time with Sharon, Amy, and William, the kids down there, and everything. And there's one or two things popping up that's interesting, and I just want to do a little bit more. I enjoy talking about my career, and so we're going to do a few of those evening withs and
brilliant.
And we do it. The first two's in September in Cardiff and Sheffield, so they're friendly ones.
No, you don't want that. You want to go you want to go somewhere that's really rural.
Yeah, I said, look, we've got to go to Bristol and places like that where they give me stick.
Exactly.
And I try and enjoy it because I do enjoy talking to supporters. I've got to say, all over the country, I've enjoyed that relationship with them. Yeah, they give me some stick, but in general, when I've had some good banter with most clubs really throughout my career.
Neil, I suppose it's going to take a while for it to all settle in that you've called time on it. Has it yet? Are you still thinking that there might be a moment when you go, wow, it's over and it hits you?
Well, it's hard to. I mean, yeah, you're bound to be times because Ray knows. I heard him talking today about what players have got to think about the future because it just stops like that. I mean, it hasn't been like that for me really. It's gradually gone like that, and I've managed to build some good teams up. Even the last one at Middlesbrough, it took me 2 years nearly, but it was great to build a good team and a good dressing room and leave them like that. And I think in management, that's all you can do really. I had a reunion last week in Scarborough, 1986. We went to 87. They were all there, Ray, and they were all as they were. You know what dressing rooms like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll have a reunion with your lads because they were that time. Yeah. But you look at today's modern player, they kiss the badge and you don't see them next week, do you? No. They're never going to be reunited. That comradeship, I don't think exists now. And I do love looking at my teams that got success and thinking about all the characters I've had.
Yeah, just talking about characters, I mean, I always think that a manager in this era, it's all about man management. Neil, how do you get the best out of players? I think you was that sort of manager. You knew how to get the best out of certain players. I think Harry Redknapp was in your sort of school. How you get the best out of what players he had. And I believe in that. I would respond more to a manager who's going to be the man manager for me, who's going to help me be a better player sort of thing.
Well, I thought, they like the league managers and what have you, and they're very, very good and they're helpful and that. But as when I have meetings with them, I say to them, you can have all your degrees, the Warwick University and all these other degrees. But the thing is, how do you get the best out of what you've got?
Yes.
And of all the things, I would say 95% of getting success is when you get your dressing room right, when you've got your best out of each player.
Yes.
And the messages I've had, I have been absolutely, I've been amazed at the number of messages if you are listening, I will reply to everybody, but it took me 2.5 hours just to get through the first pages. But the players that I've had under me, the number that have said to me, Gaffer, I've got to say it was the most enjoyable time of my career, and that really pleases me. That it gives me a lump in my throat because I know, players have said, well, and fans have, well, I never wanted you to come in first place, but I'm glad you've been here now, and I think that's what you're like. People think about me mouthing off and having a go. Incidentally, I've not had one message from a referee.
I was going to ask.
Thanking me for my career.
Oh no! But that's what it's all about, though. I mean, when you're in a dressing room area, it's how you respond to players, and I've seen some of the articles. I think it was in the Sheffield United dressing room, but they've still got so much respect for you. They're listening to you, aren't they? I know you're having a go at them, but they're saying, he's probably right here. He's right, what he's saying. I know players will have a go back at you and whatever, but I just see that, and I just see the passion that you show.
I mean, I've still got that, Ray. Even when in my last job, I'm still very passionate about things like that. I think when you have a go at players, the thing about me is, as much as what you see the media build me up to be, and you see all these videos and DVDs, you never see the nice bits, do you? You only see that horrible, shouting at everybody. But when you see that, it's forgotten. When I give a lad a rollicking in the dressing room, and I have given some rollickings, usually after a game, I'll sit
some
them down.
Some people need it, though.
Oh God, and I've given some. And when I do that, when I go out the dressing room to see the press, I've left it.
Yeah.
I never ever bring it back up again. Are you with me? I might talk to him on the Monday, Tuesday on the training ground about individual things.
Yes.
But he's gone. That rollicking's gone.
Yeah.
So it's when you keep things going, and some managers have got not vendettas, but they keep things in the mind and for days and weeks and leave players out. I've never been like that. It's always gone.
Did you always have like players with personalities? In some players you couldn't have a go at. Or it'd be worse, if you know what I mean.
When you're younger...
We have Robert Perez. You couldn't have a go at Robert Perez.
Oh, he'd go under.
He'd go in the shell.
Yeah.
Oh, don't want the ball.
Yeah.
So there's certain characters where if you really had a go at them, they respond.
Yeah, I mean, there's management is... I remember giving somebody a right rollicking, but he knew it wasn't for him. It was for him sat next to him, like you're saying. It felt like Perez sat next to him. Yeah. But it was for them all. But it was for him. Yeah. But I had to give this lad a rollicking. Then I went to him after and say, it weren't for you, that, so no. So it's just how... I mean, I've had a lovely message from Adel Tarab, and one of the lads is a QPR fan. And that was my most... I mean, Harry said, you'll never do out with him. He comes from Tottenham when I had him there. And that, I'll never forget the first day in training. I was telling him it was a red hot day and Adele's playing in black gloves. Red hot day. And I'm asking him, who's that? This coach. And he said to me, we got to Adele, he said, you don't want to know him, Gaffer. I said, what do you mean? He said, you get you to sack him. He's got two managers to sack. You don't want him. And I watched the game, Ray, and... Yeah. He was super in skill-wise, and we played West Brom the first game, top at league. And I went up to him, I said, hey, Adele, come here. I said, everybody tell me you get me the sack. He said, no. I said, well, everybody tells me that's what you'll do. No. I said, well, on Saturday, Tabs, I said, I'm going to play you against West Brom. And if you are, I can't really say that word, I don't think, on talkSPORT. If you're poor, but it's another word that I use. If you're poor on Saturday, I'm going to play you the next game, Adele. And if you're poor the next game, I'm going to play you the next game. Do you understand? He's thinking, if I'm poor, I'm going to play every game. He didn't quite understand it. He said, you're going to win me things, son, you. I'm going to love having you. And that was the only time, Ray, I've ever thought about a player with that ability, because he was a luxury. Yeah. He got it off the back four, and he'd nutmeg somebody, and they'd score, and things like that. Are you with me? And I banned all the defence straight away from giving him the ball in our half. Banned them all. I told him if he come over the halfway line into our half, I would sub him. I just... And yet we got...
And he was brilliant for you.
One of the best years in my life, that promotion. And one of the hardest.
Absolutely.
But fabulous to get the best out of players. And they were average players who loved it. I had players in that dressing room going through brick walls, which is... I'm lucky. I've got that in every dressing room. Yeah. And you look back at your Arsenal... You don't find your Tony Adamses now, do you? No. There's no Tony. You look at I'm going to say Man United, but you look where the leaders are now. There aren't any leaders now. It's all passes. You've got goalies who all want to be Beckenbauers. There's a time to whack it, as I say. Yeah. But they all want to pass it around back, even when they're in trouble. I think I enjoyed the weekend. I enjoyed that game. Because they're the best two teams I have ever seen in my career. Yeah.
What about that moment with Edison?
Yeah.
With just a little...
Well, what would you do with them? They are the best two, by the way, aren't they? Them two goalies in the league at what they do. And he will cost them. I think I saw a game early on in the season where he cost Liverpool, didn't he? And Man City lad. So, but I think the game has moved on so much, so quickly. I mean, I was at Cardiff when we played Man City, Ray, and we're playing ever so well. We got 25, 30 minutes gone, and I'm stood there with my arms folded and I'm thinking, bloody hell, we're doing well today, aren't we? And we're playing well here. We went in, and 10 minutes later, we were 3-0 down. And the third goal was so good, I almost jumped up. I'm under my breath, I'm saying, what a goal that is, yeah. And then I thought, manager, calm down a bit, you're losing 3-0.
Do you say something after the game? Would you say to Pep, would you say to him, wow, you guys are special? Did you have a chat with him afterwards or anything?
Yeah, he was. I was ever so good. I mean, people say, I'd got no friends and all that lot, but I had drinks with most people. Yeah. Ironically enough, Ray, my favourite was Arsene.
Was he?
He took me in his office 2 or 3 times.
He's a nice man.